Oh, hey there, Bruzernation. Raise those anchors and get ready to take a ride on the BRUZE Cruise. This week on the BRUZE Cruise podcast, the only podcast that brings you pro wrestling for your ears, our G1 Climax 30 tournament coverage continues. Yes, I know, G1 Climax 31 is already in the books, but we're super behind, and I take rare excursions, detour excursions, if you will, just like last week when I did Hikaru Shida versus Sharina Deeb in the TBS Women's Title Tournament in AEW. But we're back doing New Japan Pro Wrestling this week, featuring Yoshi Hashi versus Kenta. Kenta with his 6 points. Yoshi Hashi with only 2. We'll fill in some more pre-match information as we go to the BRUZE Cruise Tale of the Tournament. So far, Kenta is on a 1-match winning streak. However, Yoshi Hashi, he has lost his last 4. 3 wins for Kenta, 1 win for Yoshi Hashi. Kenta 4 losses to Yoshi Hashi's 6 losses. I highly doubt either one of these men make it to the finals, but we're going to call all these tournament matches anyway. Total match length for Kenta, 1 hour, 49 minutes, 43 seconds. Yoshi Hashi, 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 43 seconds. Yoshi Hashi not winning a whole lot of matches, but he has spent a lot of time in this tournament, 10 minutes exactly longer than Kenta. Kenta's average match length, 15 minutes and 40 seconds to Yoshi Hashi's 17 minutes and 6 seconds. It has taken 13 minutes, 59 seconds average time for Kenta to win his matches. Yoshi Hashi, his 1 win was in 15 minutes and 15 seconds. It has taken 16 minutes and 57 seconds to defeat Kenta on average in this tournament. Yoshi Hashi fares a little bit better in this department, 17 minutes and 25 seconds. Nearly 3 minutes, 2 minutes and 58 seconds to be exact in the win-loss differential for Kenta. 2 minutes, 10 seconds in the win-loss differential for Yoshi Hashi. The shortest win by Kenta, 8 minutes and 56 seconds. I want to say that was against Toru Yano. Yoshi Hashi was 15 minutes and 15 seconds. The shortest loss, however, 11 minutes and 24 seconds for Kenta. Yoshi Hashi, 13 minutes, 34 seconds. The longest win for Kenta, 17 minutes and 15 seconds. Yoshi Hashi, as we spoke earlier, his only match, 15 minutes and 15 seconds that he won. So that is his longest win as well as his shortest. The longest loss for Kenta, 23 minutes, 41 seconds to Yoshi Hashi's 24 minutes and 43 seconds. So it does seem to me that it, and according to these numbers from Voices of Wrestling, sorry, brain fart there, that it does take a little bit longer to beat Yoshi Hashi in this tournament. He just can't get those wins. 4-match losing streak, like we said. Not many victories, but 17 minutes and 25 second average losing match length is 3 minutes longer than his previous high from 2017. So, I mean, it's taken longer to defeat Yoshi Hashi in this tournament across the board. However, the positive vibes stop there for Yoshi Hashi, the worst G1 Climax competitor of all time. They do weigh the recency, the sport of pro wrestling ranking system, so that may not be all time, but all time recent. But his one win so far in this tournament really is not going to help out with that average in being one of the worst G1 competitors of all time. There you have it, Bruzernation, the Bruze Cruise. Tale of the tournament, Kenta versus Yoshi Hashi. October 14th, 2020, night 16 of the G1 CLIMAX tournament, the 30th edition, I might add, as Yoshi Hashi makes his way to the ring, trying to at least get 2 wins out of this tournament. Fans seem a little bit behind him. They're clapping, a little lethargic, trying to get ready for this opening round matchup. Now, they do always have preliminary matches when these evenings start, but this is when the action really starts to pick up. Let's see if Kenta and Yoshi Hashi can get this crowd riled up for the rest of this tournament, as I do believe we hop into the finals very quickly after this B block action takes place. Of course, this will take place over the next few weeks, and then we will call the finals, the final matchup of the G1 CLIMAX 30th edition, and then we will hop right into the 31st edition of the G1 CLIMAX tournament, at least here on the Bruze Cruise podcast, and maybe, just maybe, we'll finish G1 CLIMAX 31 before we get to G1 CLIMAX 32 next year. God, let's hope so. But with AEW having tournament matches, we'll probably call a couple of those. More than likely, I will do another live call of the AEW pay-per-view coming up in just a couple of Saturdays. Full Gear on Saturday, November 13th. So that'll put us, and maybe I'll do 2 shows that week because that's on a Saturday. I tend to record this prior to Thursday. I don't put many shows in the bank, if you will. I probably should, but I don't. I do a lot of things. I work. I'm a dad. I do multiple podcasts. It's hard to put shows in the bank when there are other things you have to take care of in your life. Now, if this was my only job, start loving the Bruze Cruise podcast, visiting BruzernationProductions.com, get me some sponsors, Bruzernation, and this could be my one and only job. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher. We're on Stitcher now. That's 9. I don't know them all. Pocket Cast is one of them. As Kenta makes his way to the ring after my winded cheap plug, still holding that briefcase for the IWGP United States Championship. Here he comes. See if he can add Yoshi Hashi in the membership of the Go to Sleep Club. I've seen quite a few of those shirts out in the crowd. The crowd does love Kenta. You really can't tell because at this time last year, they were required, the fans, as I say the fans were required to clap and stomp in approval. They were not allowed to cheer, and they had to wear masks as Kenta stares down Yoshi Hashi, who still has his bow staff in hand. He probably win a couple of matches if he could, more than one match. If he could use that bow staff every so often in this tournament, thing would hurt. I mean, you think kendo sticks hurt. Oof, I hate to get hit with that bow staff. Decked out in his green and black, Kenta in his traditional black and white shorts that I believe he's worn every match in this tournament. The Kinesio tape around the shoulder, that might give Yoshi Hashi a target there on Kenta. Yoshi Hashi and Kenta eyeing each other. The bell has rung. Here we go. Yoshi Hashi, green, white, black, and red on his tights. Green and black boots and knee pads. That's his pretty traditional gear there for this tournament as well. There's a lot riding on this, even though neither man can make the finals. Bow and elbow tie up right in the center of the ring. It's all about pride at this point to see how many points you can get as Kenta backs Yoshi Hashi into the ropes. Referee asks for the break. Playfully pats Yoshi Hashi on the cheeks, trying to get him all riled up. Get into his head a little bit. Bow and elbow tie up once again. Kenta again backs Yoshi Hashi to the ropes. Will we get another clean break as Yoshi Hashi turns it around after getting slapped in the face and hammering Kenta with 3 elbows and a hard knife edge chop right to the chest, sending Kenta in a squatting position after that chop. Irish whip. Kenta plowed in. Yoshi Hashi plows over Kenta first with a back elbow, then a charging shoulder block. Irish whip again. Kenta counters. Ducks under the clothesline to Yoshi Hashi, and a flipping neck breaker by Yoshi Hashi, trying to get this speed picked up quickly in this G1 Climax tournament matchup, trying to get to that at least 2 wins in this tournament. The referee is backed up Yoshi Hashi, giving Kenta time to get back into the ring and recover a little bit. Smart move by Kenta to roll out of that ring. Pacing ever so slightly is Kenta on the outside, trying to pick his spot to get in the ring, keeping his eyes on Hashi. Rolls back out of the ring to break the referee's count. Not trying to rush back in. Yoshi Hashi picked that speed up quite a bit, trying to keep it slowed down to his pace so he's in control of this match as he eyes the bow staff of Yoshi Hashi. Is he going to say the hell with it? He likes the bow staff. He might need to get one of his own. The big giant smile on Kenta's face. Yoshi Hashi baseball slide out, slammed face first in the ring post. Exactly what Kenta was trying to do. Distract and infuriate Yoshi Hashi as he rams him shoulder first into the ring post on the outside, and a hard smack of the body against that ring post by Yoshi Hashi. Still working that arm in the hammerlock position and tosses Yoshi Hashi shoulder first into the steel barricade. Kenta had a game plan this whole time. Maybe not the whole time, but he quickly thought on his feet, allowed Yoshi Hashi's love of that bow staff to get the better of him, and now Kenta is in complete control as he gives him a roundhouse to the shoulder, and now a roundhouse to the back as Yoshi Hashi is in a bad way. Looking hammerlock arm drag takeover by Kenta, locking him in a hammerlock from a seated position. Well, Yoshi Hashi is seated. Kenta, however, has his body draped over Yoshi Hashi, making it so Yoshi Hashi cannot get out of this. He's going to have to get to those ropes, and he made it to the ropes as the crowd claps in appreciation from the early effort of these two competitors. Back to their feet, hard elbow, 2 hard elbows by Yoshi Hashi. Kenta goes right back to the arm with a shoulder breaker. And another roundhouse kick, this time with the left to that shoulder. Kenta has picked his spot like a shark smelling blood in the water. Goes for that Fujiwara armbar. However, Yoshi Hashi is able to lock his wrists with his fingers, not allowing Kenta to get the full extension. Tries to roll into a cover. Kenta's shoulders almost down. Kenta rolls him back over, and now he has the full extension. And once again, Yoshi Hashi gets his foot on the rope. Yoshi Hashi trying to get back up. He's got it on his tights. He's got to get back up into a standing position, trying to eat these shots by Kenta. And Kenta eats the chop delivers an elbow. Another chop by Yoshi Hashi. Elbow by Kenta. Chop by Yoshi Hashi. Another shoulder breaker. And another one. And a hard roundhouse to the chest and shoulder. He caught him right in this region. And Kenta is not letting up on the arm of Yoshi Hashi. Armbringer by Kenta, trying to go for the shoulder block again, but transitions into a standing armbar. A reverse armbar, if you will. Yoshi Hashi trying to get back up to a standing position. Hard shots to the midsection of Kenta to get him to release. Kenta has not let go of the arm, but he stopped the submission hold, and now he's in a sleeper. Well, he's trying to get it. He doesn't have it all the way in. It's more like a headlock right now. Kenta able to use his power, and the weakness of Yoshi Hashi's arm gives him another arm breaker. Goes for the vertical suplex. Yoshi Hashi counters, stalls a little bit, and sends Kenta down to the mat. Yoshi Hashi needs every bit of these few seconds of respite to get some feeling back in that arm, stop that pressure, and try to get control of this matchup, because right now this has been all Kenta from the moment he went out of the ring. Yoshi Hashi delivers an elbow, hard shot to the midsection, hard chop to the chest. Kenta is bowled over in pain. Irish whip into the red corner, charges Kenta with a charging chop. Irish whip into the blue corner. Kenta tries to counter, gets him with a short arm chop. Spinning back kick to the midsection. Vertical suplex attempt in a position, drapes him over the rope, bounces off the ropes, jumping drop kick to the spine of Kenta. Bounces off the ropes again, drop kick to the face of Kenta. Cover 1, 2. Kenta kicks out at 2. Yoshi Hashi's starting to feel it now. The adrenaline is pumping. He's not noticing the pain from that shoulder. It's got to still hurt, but the crowd is firmly behind Yoshi Hashi at this point in time, feeding this man to fight through the pain and defeat Kenta. Tries a powerbomb. Kenta lowers his weight, dropping his knee to the mat to counter that powerbomb attempt as he uses brute strength to backdrop Yoshi Hashi. Kenta's going to want to slow that momentum back down, get back to his game plan. Yoshi Hashi in the neutral right corner. Kenta charges in, gets booted in the face. Yoshi Hashi charges, but eats a power slam for his trouble. Both men are down. That is exactly what Kenta needed to slow everything back down. Get the adrenaline rushing through his body. Slow down Yoshi Hashi to where he starts noticing that pain in the shoulder that Kenta has been working for a majority of this matchup. Pulls himself up with the ropes, does Kenta, standing in the blue corner. Yoshi Hashi charges in, eats a boot to the face. Tornado DDT by Kenta. No, that tornado snapmare by Kenta. Not the tornado DDT, draping the throat of Yoshi Hashi. Jumping clothesline from the top rope by Kenta. Gets over, rolls into the cover. 1, 2. Yoshi Hashi barely kicks out at 2. Yoshi Hashi in is a bad way. That shoulder's got to be bothering him again. He was barely able to get it off the rope as he eats some more roundhouses to the chest by Kenta. Stands up in defiance, trading elbows, standing in the middle of the ring, back and forth. Who will budge first? Who will take the effect of these elbows worse? As they are hammering each other as Yoshi Hashi wins the exchange, but Kenta goes right back to the arm breaker. Eats a chop, gets backed up into the corner. Kenta trying to catch his breath. Yoshi Hashi charges in, misses the running chop. Kenta jumping boot to the face of Yoshi Hashi, setting him seated down into the corner. Kenta back into the other neutral corner, charging, jumping shotgun drop kick by Kenta right in the face of Yoshi Hashi. Kenta making his way back to the top rope in the white neutral corner. Double stomp by Kenta, landing both feet and his lower body on the midsection of Yoshi Hashi. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. Yoshi Hashi kicks out at 2. How much more can Yoshi Hashi take? He is being completely outclassed and beaten down by Kenta. Looks like he's going for that go to sleep. Is he going to be able to hit it as Yoshi Hashi fights out with elbows, tries a German suplex to no avail, eats 3 elbows to the side of the face, releasing that attempt on the German suplex. Exactly what Kenta was trying to do. Spinning enziguri by Yoshi Hashi. Kenta charges, eats a super kick as he goes for the discus elbow. Yoshi Hashi is feeling it now. This is exactly what he needed. He needed to stop that momentum of Kenta, stop the assault. Kenta is down and out, face first on the mat. The crowd firmly behind Yoshi Hashi. They have shown appreciation for both men in this match, but they are behind Yoshi Hashi. Powerbomb attempt by Yoshi Hashi. Running powerbomb, sits out, makes the cover. 1, 2. Kenta kicks out at 2 3/4. Butterfly lock by Yoshi Hashi. Now he's focusing on that taped shoulder of Kenta. Trying to reach those elbows back behind Kenta to where they nearly touch each other, as Kenta will more than likely need to get to the ropes. Yoshi Hashi is bigger. He's not going to be able to use sheer force to get out of this. All of Yoshi Hashi's upper body weight is on Kenta as he pulls him away, staying in the butterfly lock away from the ropes. Kenta desperately reaching for the ropes, keeping his eye on right where they are, trying to shake those cobwebs loose and scooch ever so closer to the bottom rope. Stretches, and he stretches. Can he get it? And Yoshi Hashi pulls him away again, right in the center of the ring with that butterfly lock. Now he throws Kenta's arm into a hammerlock position so he cannot counter it. Great wrestling, great body positioning by Yoshi Hashi to try to defeat Kenta here in this tournament matchup, to get himself to 4 points / 2 wins. Try to get out of this 4-match losing streak. Kenta once again trying to scooch to those ropes. Both men up, and he switched into the sleeper hold. What a quick transition by Yoshi Hashi. Picks Kenta up by the head, standing sleeper position. Backstabber by Yoshi Hashi. Bounces off the ropes, goes for the Meteora to no avail. Kenta looks to put him in, what is he doing? In a crossface. Puts him in the cross. He's trying to get him in the crossface to no avail. Yoshi Hashi keeping one knee under him, trying to keep that head away from the arms of Kenta so he cannot lock that in. Yoshi Hashi continues to fight it off, trying to get to the rope, so if he does get caught, Kenta can't apply too much pressure on that damaged shoulder and neck. Kenta's grabbing at the hair of Yoshi Hashi, still trying to end. Yoshi Hashi gets to the ropes. Kenta has to stop the attempt. What effort by both competitors here in this G1 Climax matchup. Oh, hard shot. Just a rising kick to the chest of Yoshi Hashi. And another one, this time a roundhouse. Yoshi Hashi looks winded. Kenta does as well, as he gives Yoshi Hashi a third and a fourth roundhouse. And now Yoshi Hashi's starting to get fired up from those roundhouses. Nails Kenta with an elbow to the face. Kenta responds in kind. Who will get the best of this exchange as they are standing defiantly, trading elbows right in the center of the ring? A hard roundhouse to the arm of Kenta. Wincing in pain does Kenta. Trading roundhouses now. Overhand chop to the chest of Kenta. Elbow to Yoshi Hashi. And elbow to Kenta. Elbow to Hashi. Elbow to Kenta. Elbow to Hashi. Trading blows in the center of the ring as Yoshi Hashi's strength overcomes Kenta. But he ducks under and nails an overhead chop, spinning back fist, 2 of them to the neck of Yoshi Hashi by Kenta. This is what Kenta's been waiting for. He's going to go for the go to sleep. I can feel it as he puts Yoshi Hashi in the fireman's carry. Yoshi Hashi counters the go to sleep with a DDT. Both men completely spent, laid out in the middle of the ring. Who will get to their feet first? Who will take advantage in this matchup tonight, opening up the tournament festivities of the evening? Yoshi Hashi back to his feet, bounces off the ropes, charges for a clothesline, blocked by Kenta, spinning chop by Kenta, goes for that spinning back fist, no avail. Overhand slap and a dragon suplex by Yoshi Hashi. Bounces off the ropes, running clothesline by Yoshi Hashi, cover, 1, 2. Kenta kicks out at 2 3/4. Yoshi Hashi is so close. He has got to hit this move. Looks like he's going for that Fisherman Buster. Nailed it. The Fisherman Buster onto Kenta. Cover, seating on his chest. 1, 2. Kenta kicks out again. Yoshi Hashi has got to be thinking, what do I have to do to defeat Kenta and save face a little bit in this tournament? Might only be 2 wins, but if he can defeat the holder of the IWGP United States Championship briefcase as Kenta fires back with lefts and rights, eats a super kick right under the chin, goes for the Gore Dukame, I think that's what they call it, and transition into the label lock by Kenta. He doesn't have it all the way in. Yoshi Hashi is able to lay on his side, and now he has it locked in. Yoshi Hashi flat on his stomach, locked in the label block, but he is able to roll back over to his side, trying to pull himself and Kenta all the way to the ropes. Is Kenta able to make him submit? Yoshi Hashi showing some incredible heart in this matchup, keeping his eyes on that rope as he drags both himself and Kenta, who is draped over his shoulders. Rolls him over to the other side into the middle of the ring and puts the label block back in. What great submission grappling by Kenta, knowing how close the taller Yoshi Hashi was to those ropes, rolled through, put him right back in it, really wrenching back now, bending Yoshi Hashi in half, and that is it. Kenta has defeated Yoshi Hashi. 4 wins in a row for Kenta. Both men completely spent. Kenta laid out on Yoshi Hashi. Another loss by Yoshi Hashi, but it was not without effort, fighting every last second of the way as both men really showed out, getting the crowd into this matchup. But Kenta prevails, defeating Yoshi Hashi by submission. Getting to 8 points is Kenta. Yoshi Hashi stays at 2. That is it, Bruiser Nation. What a matchup between Yoshi Hashi and Kenta. Really beating the hell out of each other. Move for move. You weren't really sure who was going to take the victory in that, but Kenta prevails, not with the go to sleep, but with the label lock submission. Tune in next week as our G1 Climax 30 tournament coverage continues with Juice Robinson versus Zack Sabre Jr. Follow the Bruze Cruise podcast on all your favorite podcasting apps: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Pocket Cast. There's like 4 more, but I don't remember all of them. Be sure to check out BruzerNationProductions.com. That is where all of our podcasts are, as well as those podcasting apps. But not only do we have our audio podcasts, we have the video version of this one. We have the video version of To the Turnbuckle, as well as on Facebook at To the Turnbuckle. Follow us at Bruzernation PR on Twitter. Continue the pro wrestling conversation there. And as always, Bruiser Nation, stay good, because I'm always good.